Okay, so we've shown you a few examples of sketchbooks that even very, very young children can make on their own with help and guidance from the teacher. But we do want to remind you all that there is another way of going about this whole sketchbooks business. And actually making the sketchbook from scratch with your own chosen materials is a great opportunity for children and teachers to start to think about all the skills that will actually be, hopefully, brought to children's experience when they start using the sketchbooks themselves. So skills like exploration and discovery and lateral thinking can all take place in the making of the sketchbook as well as inside the sketchbook. This morning when I was making some of the videos, the how-to videos of the simple sketchbooks, the elastic band sketchbooks and things like that, I was looking around the house looking for materials to gather so that I could make the books to illustrate them. And I became very aware that the materials I chose obviously depended upon where I was in the house to gather them. So when I went in the office, I obviously collected paper and envelopes and such like. Had I gone in the kitchen, I would have collected very different materials. I would have been collecting dusters and tablecloths. Both those sets of material could be used to make sketchbooks and resulting in very, very different objects. And it's a great opportunity here for us to think how children can become involved in that process of decision making. What do they want their sketchbook to be like? What do they want it to feel like? How will they use it? What's its purpose? And as soon as we have that ownership from the children, we're halfway there, because one of the main things about the sketchbook mentality is the feeling that the children can own and take control of this learning place for themselves. Sheila and I used to go and teach sculpture in schools, and our most successful workshops were the ones where we would completely change the energy and space of the classroom, and we would take lots and lots of materials into the room, set the room up before the children came in, so the materials were piled high in the middle and they actually took over the room. Obviously workshops like that take lots of time and energy and space, and we fully acknowledge that, but they were really successful workshops, and we used to give children starting points and guiders and obviously a context to the workshops. But to a greater or lesser extent, they were free to choose their own materials and to try and learn how those materials would work with each other. And we have some great results. So maybe we can think about doing the same when we try to make the sketchbooks. We did try in the past asking children to collect their own materials and really encourage them to think about which ones they would choose from their own home or their own environment. But the problem with that is that children seem naturally quite cautious. They're not used to a world where they're given free space basically and said, go and take whatever you like. And if they do take whatever they like, they take very small amounts. But there's something about the space and generosity of materials that's really important. So maybe there is a job there for the teacher to go out, think very, very laterally, look around the world very laterally, and enjoy the process of thinking, well, what could we collect? And alongside that, how can we connect these things together to make sketchbooks?